Let's talk about the second episode of Paradise called Sinatra. So, in Sinatra, we are dealing with the immediate aftermath of President Bradford's death. We have to plan a funeral. We have to figure out who's going to succeed him. Um, Xavier's getting questioned, and we're getting juicy flashbacks, learning more about Sinatra herself, aka Samantha. So I'm gonna get into spoilers and talk about what I liked about the episode. So if you haven't seen it yet, save this and come back and let me know what you thought of it. I think this episode was really, really good. Julianne Nicholson came to flex that Emmy, and the Emmy was flexed. Okay, I was impressed. I think, I mean, Sinatra built this city. She built this city. The episode was like beautiful. Like when you see like how it tied together, what or how we got here partly. It was beautiful, like tragically beautiful, beautiful in a heavy way, sorrowful. Samantha built this city in honor of her son. She built his version of heaven. And so in a way, her family is together, right? Like she didn't have a warning in terms of her son. She lost him, she had no control over it, but she had a warning about this cataclysmic event that was coming. And so she was able to save her daughter, and she has placed them in where her son said he would be. She's placed them in his heaven, and I think that is so beautiful. Sinatra built this city in response to her grief, and I don't think she has fully coped with her son's loss. We could say that her building this city, her building her son's paradise, was a way for her to cope, but I don't think so. Just looking at the state of her marriage, they clearly have not bounced back, but they haven't found a new normal. Like there was the warmth that we saw in the flashback when both of their kids were alive is definitely missing in the present. And I think that rather than coping with her grief, as in figure out a way to live with it, I think Samantha turned inwards and became a hyper control freak who was focused on saving her daughter and amassing resources to keep her daughter as safe as possible. Resources that include other billionaires, because she definitely runs those other billionaires that was sitting at the table. And I'm so intrigued, as is Xavier, in who Samantha is now. What does she do, or what was she doing? What is her function exactly? Was she just, around just what? Like, is she the one who actually runs the country, aka Paradise? Did Cal turn into her puppet, essentially? Because again, she built this city. I have a wild theory about Samantha. I think there is something wrong with her. I think she inserted a chip in her brain to help her deal with the loss of her son. Because the last time we saw her in a therapy session with Dr. Tarabi, right? Is that her name? Dr. Tarabi, Dr. Gabriella Tarabi, she said, like, I need your help. Because every day that goes on, the grief is not getting better or easier to manage, it's getting worse. So I totally buy, again, control freak, I buy Samantha as the type of person who would permanently deal with those feelings. We didn't see the conclusion of that visit between her and Dr. Tarabi. So I'm very interested in I think they came up with something. The reason why I think that is because of the scene where Sinatra and Xavier are walking and they're talking about how they're going to handle Cal's death. She switches topics abruptly 2 times in that conversation. They're talking about how they're going to handle Cal's death. Then she abruptly asks Xavier, why did Terry hyphenate her name? And then she abruptly asks him, does he have the tablet? Now, my friend thinks that she was trying like a little like interrogation tactic, like bringing up something like emotional to throw him off his game, and then getting to the real question she was interested in, which is like, do you have the tablet? But I find it weird that would be her tactic, because like Xavier is like the head of the Secret Service. I just feel like you gotta come harder than that if you're gonna try to trip him up to get an answer that you wanted. I also found it a little bit unbelievable that during the lie detector test, Xavier lied, and the way he tricked the test was in balling his fist. And I'm looking like no one in the room is watching out for that. No one in the room is aware that that's a trick that can allow you to probably like slow down his heart rate or whatever so that he doesn't give himself away. No one was watching for that tell. Okay. But yeah, that's why I think there's some like Samantha has something in her brain to like dull her feelings or something, because the way she was moving between topics was very odd to me. Something robotic about it. Speaking of Dr. Gabriella Tarabi, she told Xavier to say yes, and I can't wait for the next scene between them because, ma'am, what do you know? What do you know about what Samantha is up to? Did Samantha have Cal killed? Did Cal become a problem for Samantha and so she got him out of the way? She's on the poster. She's on the series poster. So she's, a big player. So what's up? What's up? Last but not least, those 6 numbers. Where are they? 812092. It's looking like it was the ID of an airplane. Is it the airplane that Terry was in when everything went down? Is that plane still around? I don't imagine that they took us to that airport hangar thingy just to have a look. I would think we would be going back there for something, although I would think that when they landed, that the government would have gone back to get the black boxes and whatever super secret thing would be in those planes. But I'm interested to see, and I think it would make sense for us to see those planes again, because I think there might be something in there that's important. And those are pretty much my thoughts about episode 2. I think Sinatra has something in her brain that's dulling her feelings. I think that quite possibly Cal became a problem for her. If she had him killed, I don't think she did it herself. I would be very surprised. We found out that Cal extended his presidency, quote unquote. And so probably because like everybody else died, but still need to find out like what caused this. Yeah, I can't wait to learn about everybody else and learn more about how we got here. If you've watched episode 2 already, Sinatra, let me know what you think, and let me know as of episode 2 what you are speculating.